Hey guys, I'm pretty pissed off right now. Let me give you the rundown. I recorded an hour and a half of Don't Starve with no mic turned on because my dad came in, pissed me off. I forgot to turn it back on after I cut back to the recording. Um, that wasn't so terrible. I thought that doing some voiceover recording after the fact could actually help me provide a more detailed conversation about what's happening in the game for you guys watching. Problem was, I just did that for about 25 minutes. And so I did an hour and a half in about 25 minutes. And I still didn't have my mic turned on. This time it was turned off on OBS, though. So I record on OBS. I had my actual mic turned off the first time I made the mistake. The second time I had myself muted, essentially, in OBS. So I'm pretty pissed off. So I guess hopefully this will be another 20-minute video. I don't know. I'm going to be pretty annoyed going through this. I'm going to try and hit on the big points of what I talked about. But, yeah. I wanted to also just play for you guys like 3 times speed sped up clip, but I don't know how to do that in this program, and when I used Windows Media Player, it actually couldn't handle it, and so it went slower than normal speed. It was going about half speed when I hit double speed. And when I hit half speed, it was going about like half speed as well. So Windows sucks, I guess. So we're just going to do this. Again, I'm just going to watch along with you guys, because even though I just watched it, and I recorded this yesterday, I have no idea what's going on. So, okay, yeah. I am just gathering resources. What I'm doing here is I'm digging up. Let me show you. Yeah, see, I'm digging up these grass tufts, the twig saplings, and the berry bushes. Those are 3 main, renewable resources that you need a high quantity of. So what I'm doing is I'm going around the world, like far from my base, and I'm digging up those things. Watch, I'm going to do it right here. I'm using a shovel. I dug up that bush. I can now carry that bush back to my base and plant it at my base. Then, if I fertilize it, once I've planted it at my base, it will grow. In order to fertilize it, I need either poop or decomposed plant matter or food. So like if I let meat or carrots or anything rot on the ground, it'll turn into like fertilizer, and I can use that on the bush that I transplanted from somewhere else to my base to have it grow berries for me. You can also do that with the grass, and you can do that with the saplings, which give you the twigs. So this game really does let you transform the world a decent amount, and that's what I was doing here for the first, like a decent chunk of this, is me running around and digging up these bushes and stuff. I also collect some rocks. I talked about how rocks aren't really renewable until the late game, and I don't even know how that works, but I do think rocks can become renewable. Stone is useful. Stone, gold, and flint. Flint is what all my tools are made out of currently. You can see that. The flint is what I have here. The stone is what I make like my campfire out of. Different structures need to be made out of stone. Everything comes down to resources in this game, and you can refine it. So like you see here, I'm getting logs from this tree, but if you look in my backpack over here on the right, I have boards. So I refined 4 logs into 1 board, and that lets me build stuff, right? So the game is all about staying on top of resources. That's a giant leggy bird boy that I'm not even able to deal with right now, so just going to ignore him. I'll just skip back when I get back to the base. Okay, I killed some spiders there. I don't know if I ever showed that, but the world spawns with these spider nests all over it, so I'm trying to clear out the ones near to where I live, because like I don't want spiders just walking around where I live. But you can actually farm them, I think, at some point. I don't really know how, but silk is a decently high demanded. The spider web thing is called silk. So what you can see here is I'm looking at making a farm. Which is, I don't know how much I talked about it, but those giant beefalo-looking things is what they're called in this game, beefalo. They look like bison, but not. They're like white. They're like yaks. They're like yaks. Hairy wool yaks. They poop, and the poop is used to make farms. It's used to fertilize bushes that you plant, which I'm surprised I haven't planted those things yet. I think I do that now. Yeah, you can see I plant all the things I just dug up all across the world. So now they're right next to my base. You can see the bushes in the top left there. So I spend a lot of time just kind of messing around. I realize that giving the Pig King meat makes him give me gold. Gold is a better version of flint. So like I told you, flint, all the tools are made from flint. When you get enough gold, you can make all your tools from gold. And that, I don't know if they work faster, but they definitely last a lot longer. And plus, for right now, it's easy for me to get meat for the Pig King. So gold is a more renewable resource than flint is for me. So I'm totally on the idea of switching over to gold, especially if it's better. So I leave the Pig King, plant more of the trees, just trying to farm stuff. You can see there's the beefalo guy. I don't know if I ever showed it and explained. That's what he is. I can shear him to get wool to make warm clothes. That'll be useful at some point. I'm just kind of looking through. I don't know if I explained this. Right here is a science machine. Essentially, the science machine is what allows you to unlock recipes for higher level tools and structures. It's a way the game has implemented progression. Oh, yeah, you can figure out how to make a pickaxe from a piece of flint and a stick, but do you know how to build a chest? No, so you build a science machine, and that allows you to manufacture. Next to the science machine, I've already unlocked the alchemy engine. That's essentially the same thing, but it's even higher quality, higher intricacy items and structures. So I don't know if there's anything above the alchemy machine, but I've got both of them pretty quickly. So that allows me to pretty much have access to all the recipes that I'm going to need for now to build and craft all the different things that I'm using. You can see I built a chest, which allowed me to unload a lot of my inventory. Looks like I'm still just kind of trying to survive. Okay, look, I built a farm. So that is gonna, you've probably seen I've been picking up seeds off the ground. The birds just drop seeds. I think they also just show up randomly on the ground. I can plant those in crop plots. So here's the recipe. You know, I needed poop. That's why I've been collecting poop. That's gonna offer me an additional form of food. And about part of the progression of this game is making access to higher level food come easier and easier, so that you have to put less time into it. So here I'm just getting poop so I can get more farms, and what happens is I come across this footprint. It's an animal track. Every once in a while the game will just spawn that, and you can inspect them and track them, and you kind of follow them and you find this beast. I forget what it's called, and I don't think I hover over it at any point in order to see its name, but essentially it runs away from you very fast, so you have to try and corner it, which is what I do, and it kicks my ass. You can see here that, I'll show you it kicking my ass. So it takes away almost all my health in like 2 hits. I'm almost dead. I almost died here. This was almost the end of the Let's Play. But I kick its ass. The whole thing of this game is memorizing attack patterns. All mobs can only attack every X amount of seconds, and once you realize what that number is, you can quickly get your hits in and then back away. Fall out of range, let them miss, and then you come back in. That's all combat is in this game. I think. Maybe there's more to it. I don't know. But so that thing dropped a ton of really good meat. And also a trunk. It's because it had like a trunk like an elephant. It looked like an elephant. That's going to let me make a vest. And this game has seasons. I'm going to need warmer clothing. That's going to help me out big time. The meat, I'm probably going to sell or eat. I'm going to either sell it to the Pig King for gold or eat. I think I end up eating it because my health is so low. It gives me a decent amount of health back. So I decided to burn down some trees here for charcoal. You see I picked that up. You burn down a tree, you get charcoal. That's useful for some stuff that I don't end up building right away. So I went and got myself charcoal, but didn't build anything. So once I get to that point where I actually use it, I'll let you know. But for now, I just keep the normal stuff. Most of this game is just, I need wood for my fires, I need grass and sticks. You know, so much of what you do is repetition. Sorry, my voice is, at this point, is dying. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys saw there on my crop plot, a carrot grew, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I talked about it. I have this parasol, this umbrella thing. You can see my stats over here, which again, I don't know if I ever explained any of this, but you have the hunger stat, which you need to keep full, but otherwise you'll starve, which is the name of the game. You have your health stat by the heart, which if it goes to 0, it means you're dead. And then you have your sanity stat. And the sanity, you'll go crazy, and eventually if it gets to 0, you'll die of insanity. Like, I don't really want to show you guys, but it can happen, and I've died that way. So you have to keep your sanity up. And for some reason, doing stuff with flowers keeps your sanity up. So what I did here is I made an umbrella, which gives you sanity, because it's like, oh, I'm keeping the sun off of me. I'm not getting sunburned. I don't have the sun in my eyes, you know, whatever. But also, it's made of flowers, so my sanity is actually going up, and it's staying pretty high. Another thing you can do to increase your sanity is sleep. You don't really realize, you know, you don't think about it normally. Normally, in this Let's Play, I've just stayed up during the night. That's actually not a good thing, apparently. Sleeping also increases your health, but it totally tanks your hunger. You lose so much more hunger than if you just waited out the night. And I guess that's a good trade. Like, I'm okay with that, right? I'm not going to complain about that. So here, yeah, I come and give the Pig King more meat for gold. I actually give him a ton in this encounter. But yeah. I keep fighting. I keep grinding resources. Here I wanted more silk, so I decided, and this spider den is pretty close to where I live, so I decided I'd clear it out. So that was dumb of me. See, I totally knew he was going to attack, and I let him. I should have just kept running away from him. But now it's empty, and so I can kill the thing and get more silk. Just farming. You see I'm planting trees there. I'm looking for stuff to craft. I've got 2 crop plots. Things are going good. I found another one of these guys. This time I did much better in the fight. I don't think he got a single hit on me this time. Yeah, and then I got his shit. Nice. So I've got more crop plots. You see I built a tent? That's probably how I healed most of my food. My health, I mean. And my sanity. Because I slept in the tent. It looks like... Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I've already done this, so I'm kind of like pooped. But I'm just gathering resources. Sticks, grass, logs, you know, those are like the main ones you're gonna want to always be gathering. And I haven't really set up. I do it later on where I put even more near my base. Because it is just like you need so many of them. You can see, yeah, I was digging. So, I don't know if I've talked about it here, but I came across this plant thing. Let's actually see. Yeah, so here it is. There's this weird plant thing. It just showed up on my road. So I try fighting it. It's got all these little things surrounding it, and there's a big thing in the center. I have no idea what. Even now, I've definitely encountered it before, but I don't remember what it is or what it does. But I was not able to deal with it, so I had to just ignore it. So I'm planting more sticks. We're crafting stuff. Got more chests. We're cooking up goods, you know. We're surviving. We're keeping on top of bunnies. One thing I don't know if I'll show it soon, but I actually keep a chest full of bunnies. I don't murder the bunnies and turn them into meat like I do here. I actually just keep them alive in a chest. You're allowed to do that. You catch the bunny and you literally just put it in a chest. Just as a precaution, like if anything ever happens and I'm totally out of food, I have a chest full of bunnies. Maybe that's really dumb, but I do it. So, I don't know if I talked about it again either, but these guys have a mating season, those beefalo. Their butts get red. I don't know if you'll be able to see it anytime soon, but that means they're in mating season. And they have babies. So they have a sustainable population. And there's a way to, I think, farm them. I might actually try and figure that out in one of the upcoming episodes. Because if I could farm and, like, tame and farm those guys and, you know, kill a couple off every year for a ton of meat, that would be amazing. And also have an access to poop. Yeah, see, there's a few more down here. I would love to be able to do that. Plus, their fur is very useful. So, yeah. That's that. Their fur is also used for making warm clothing. Because, like I said, there are seasons. So, I just keep gathering resources right now. That's pretty much all I really know to do is just keep gathering stuff. Just keep as I need it, but also trying to stockpile. You see I made 2 vests there because I killed the elephant guys with the trunks. I made their trunks into vests because I know winter is coming soon. So I have 2 of those. The bunnies I'm actually going to make earmuffs out of at some point. Yeah, here's the chest of bunnies I have. I'm cooking up all the different stuff. Oh, I made a lightning rod. Can I show that in action? I guess not. So you can see it there. Yeah, you see it going nuts. I'll just talk about it. So the lightning rod, if every once in a while there's lightning storms, if they strike your buildings or your crops or your bushes, it'll burn all of them down. And that can set you back. That could be the end of your game. So what I did is I made a lightning rod, and that means the lightning will always strike that thing instead. And that helps out. So I guess we'll just go quick to the next video. That one was an hour and 15 minutes. This is 17 minutes. So it's a straight up continuation. I'm still just chopping down trees. What happens is, oh yeah, the pig eats. Let's roll that back quick. So this pig, he comes over here and he sees I've got berries, and he eats the berries and he throws up poop. Then this pig says yum. He comes and eats the and throws up poop. I don't know why he did that. I'm pretty sure those berries, the reason they're on the ground was I put them there because they were expired. So, yeah, I don't know. So I burned down more trees for more charcoal, and that actually allows me to make a... I do it soon. I know I do it soon. Oh, I made a drying rack. So let me pause. You guys can see it. It's down there. It's a drying rack. And essentially, instead of cooking the rabbit's meat or any type of meat, you can hang it on the drying rack. It takes like a day or two, and it becomes jerky. Jerky gives you more health. I think it gives you more food, and it lasts longer. It doesn't spoil as quickly as cooked meat. So it's just better. It takes, you know, it requires a time investment, and you need to have a drying rack. But eventually I build a few of those because I essentially want to make all my meat into jerky because it's just better. But what I also do is so actually here, let's look at this. Is you can see towards the fire pit there, I made a bird trap. I don't know if I talked about that. I know I've talked about the rabbit traps that I put over the rabbit holes. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. The rabbits come either in or out of the hole. They trip the trap, I get rabbits. But there's a bird trap. If I bait that with seeds, birds will almost certainly land on it. And sometimes I've gotten meat from birds, but usually get feathers. And I think feathers are used in crafting, which is why I haven't baited the traps, because I don't really have much to craft right now with what birds can give me. So I've kind of just left it there. Okay, so what I was doing there was I was refining the stones I have into, you can see it's on the ground, cut stone. So like you can turn logs into wooden boards, you can turn stone into cut stone. That allows me to build, as you can see here, another cut stone. I go back, food, and I make a crock pot. And I put that down. Crock pots let you cook higher level recipes. It actually lets you use recipes. So what you'll see here is I can put 4 items in there. So I put meat and then I put 3 berries in. That always cooks you meatballs, and it's greater than the sum of its parts. So cooking meatballs and eating meatballs is way better than just eating 1 bunny meat and 3 berries. So cooking, it's like drying the meat on the drying rack. It's a time investment for a better product overall. Eventually, I'll want a few of those crock pots, and I'll be making a ton of recipes. The only recipe I know is meatballs, and I know meatballs are a great source of food. And I know I can always get a ton of berries and meat, so... So now what happens is you might be able to hear in the game is like barking. The way the game kind of forces progression is every 10 days or so, it sends a wolf pack after you. And I'm actually going to try and just skip to when that happens. So, eventually the barking starts and they show up. And this is a mob that is like super aggressive. So what I did here is I dropped my backpack and I put on this log suit. And I'm actually able to take a bunch of hits from them. Yeah, every 10 days. After the first 10 days, I got attacked by 2 of them. I guess I didn't record it, or I missed it just now when I was skipping through. They sent 2 at me. Now there's 4. And you can see I'm not doing too well. Like, I'm just tanking it, though, because of this log suit. Yeah, I really just get beat to hell, but I win. And that actually made me feel pretty good because the game was too hard for me back in the day, and I actually would turn the dogs off in the settings. Or I would turn it down so that like every 10 days it always sent 1 dog, and I'd just kill it super easily. Whole pack of them like that's pretty overwhelming, and I was out here in the wild collecting shit, so I wasn't even able to use my base or anything to help me out. I lived next to those pig people for a reason. They would help me kill those guys. Yeah, so that's sort of a big thing that I've survived 2 of those attacks now. My health didn't even take that big of a beating. I'll be able to recover that pretty quickly. I get pissed off, though, because the game is supposed to... Let me pause. Those guys are supposed to have a chance of dropping their teeth, which are actually useful for crafting some pretty intricate stuff that'll be useful for me literally right now. And they didn't drop any teeth. They just dropped monster meat, which I don't know if you've noticed. I have not done anything with monster meat. I don't know what to do. I am assuming it can be used in some sort of crafting, but I don't know what. And I've just been letting it spoil and turn into fertilizer, and I've been fertilizing stuff with my with my spoiled monster meat. So what happened here is, I don't know what happened. I was on day 20 after I killed those dogs. I guess I paused the recording for a little bit. Now it's day 21, and winter is coming. You can tell everything's tinted blue, and literally penguins just showed up to chill out because it's cold now. So I kind of I find another thing of those footprints for those elephant-looking things, but it actually doesn't lead me anywhere. I get gypped, so I wasted my time. And I just come back to camp, and I start really trying to stockpile supplies because winter is coming. Yeah, and then the recording ends because I just cut abruptly. The next video I have after this actually has audio, so I'll upload that as is, and then going forward, you guys can let me know what you think's better. Me doing a quick recap. I'm gonna try to find a way to not. What I was doing here was I was just skipping ahead 30 seconds at a time, so I'm gonna try to find a way to not do that. I want to have it just kind of fast forward at like 2 or 3 times, and then I can watch along and see everything that happens and comment on it all properly, because I probably missed some stuff in here. But I do think doing this post commentary is better for giving you a little bit denser of a video information wise. I think me just sitting here, like I've watched, I can see my image here behind the behind me now, and I'm just like slumped in my chair most of the time, not saying a word. So I'm gonna try and make this a better experience for you guys. So let me know what you think's better. The next episode after this one's gonna be another one with commentary like normal, but from then on we'll see where it goes. So yeah, that's it. Goodbye.